What is up, my beloved wrestling fans? I know it's been a while. Today I'm doing a top 8 feel-good moments. My feel-good moments corresponds with my Positive Tuesdays on my other channel. So these are mine. Let me know in the comment section down below what are yours. What moments made you feel good inside. We're going to start at number 8, when John Cena loses. I have 4 particular people because I like even numbers. And this order goes Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. He just fucking demolished Cena. Made him look like a bitch. Then we have him losing to Kevin Owens. Should have kept that up. Should have kept Kevin Owens on top. The NXT title meant more than the United States title. Him losing to CM Punk. CM Punk's way out of the company. There was just a whole pipe bomb thing. Culminating with the defeat of Rise Above Hate and sorry, I don't have hate for John Cena as a person. I think he's great. I think all that Rise Above Hate stuff and him being Superman-ish got boring and old, and yeah. And then finally, the loss to The Rock at WrestleMania. I'm a huge Rock fan. He's one of my favorite. I don't count the second match. I go all tangent about how that should have been CM Punk versus Taker, streak versus streak. Would have played out way better than Cena Rock 2. Cena wins. Anyways. 7. Dolph Ziggler cashes in the Money in the Bank. I've been a Dolph Ziggler fan for a long time. He's charismatic. He's wonderful on the mic. He is a good worker. He's one of the hardest workers. I appreciate the workers. That's why the Intercontinental has always been like my favorite championship. It's the workhorse. The people who I think that work the hardest and don't get as much recognition as the champion. And then for a while, Brock Lesnar wasn't there, so the Intercontinental was kind of the champion. 6 is Rey Mysterio wins at the Royal Rumble and then goes to WrestleMania and wins the World Heavyweight Championship. I've always been a Rey fan. He was fantastic in WCW, one of the best wrestlers, cruiserweight guys, period. He's a hard worker. He is a fantastic friend, from what I gather from seeing things. We're not friends. We should be. Hit me up, Ray. But he's just all around good guy. And to watch him beat Randy Orton and Triple H, which, at that point is like, oh great, Triple H is winning. And then watch him beat Kurt Angle and Randy Orton at WrestleMania for the title was fantastic. It really, I'll throw a little negativity in there because it really pisses me off that he won the WWE Championship, his first time winning the WWE Championship, and then losing it the same night because Cena didn't get a rematch for it. That right there is one of the biggest problems I have with Cena, that not putting over the Nexus. Anyways, enough for that negativity. 5 is the Warrior winning at WrestleMania, becoming the Intercontinental and the WWE Champion, beating Hogan. Sorry, a lot of thoughts because I'm not a Hogan fan, and things keep popping up, grabbing my attention. I was never a Hogan fan. Never eat your vitamins, say your prayers. Yellow and red reminded me of a cheeseburger. It just ketchup and mustard. I don't like it. I didn't like him and wasn't a huge fan. The Ultimate Warrior I gravitated to because I was a little spaz. Well, my son's a spaz now, but his music hit and I ran circles around the house, just shaking whatever I could. 4, Edge comes back to the 2020 Royal Rumble. I screamed like a little girl. The only other time I screamed like that is when The Rock shows back up. But I marked out. I marked out huge. I never, ever, ever thought I would ever see that man in a ring. And looking back at his matches now, looking at having different perspective of who, what a workhorse he was. I always had a thing back in the day. My fantasy tag team was Jeff Hardy and Edge. I thought that would be awesome. Rated RKO was fantastic. Edge, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. He's one of the greatest in-ring competitors. One of the greatest mic workers. It blows my mind. And then he showed up, and the roof went off. And 3 is Daniel Bryan's Yes Movement. I like Daniel Bryan. The American Dragon. The movement was fantastic. I know some people don't like the match with Sheamus at WrestleMania, but if it wasn't for that bullshit they pulled, it would have never started a reaction. It's kind of like, it reminds me of if Zack Ryder wasn't ignored, and Zack Ryder didn't do the YouTube videos and call himself the YouTube champion, would he really be the Zack Ryder we know now? Where everybody's anticipating where he's going, where he's going to show up at. He's going to do big, man. So yeah, the Yes Movement, bucking the authority, and then culminating in a win over Triple H, and then a win for the championship. 2 is right there. It's Kofi beating Daniel Bryan for the WWE champion. The reason why this is under or more to me than Daniel Bryan is because I absolutely in love with Kofi. Like, he's the man. He was, when he had the Jamaican get up, I liked him there. Air Boom, and I was like, this dude is championship material, and that was like fucking 10 years ago. Everything with Randy Orton. So, watching him be put down by the man, and things actually coming out that were behind the scenes, and what people thought was going on because Kofi, who he was, and then watching it all play out, and then watching him win, even though I knew he was going to win, it didn't take away from the moment at all. There were parts in the match. It was a fantastic match on top of that. A great story, a great ending. 2 great competitors. You're wondering, well, that's number 2. What's number 1? Number 1 made me a little emotional, thinking back on it. I did all these off the top of my head because I wanted to feel something. I didn't want to do research or any of that stuff because I wanted it to be organic. Number 1 is Eddie wins the undisputed title, and then he goes on and defends it against Kurt Angle at WrestleMania, and then they have a moment with him and Chris Benoit in the middle of the ring. That's one of the things I remember the most about wrestling, is that culmination, all of that. Eddie is got to be my favorite wrestler. I'm buying that stupid $500 Eddie Guerrero Undisputed Championship. Like, when I think of Undisputed Champions, I think Eddie. It automatically clicks. That man was so fucking loved and so awesome at what he did. He was given a gimmick that was just a typical, stereotypical Mexican gimmick, and he ran with it, and he made the most of it. And he was fantastic on the mic, and who knows? If he wouldn't have passed away early, maybe Chris Benoit wouldn't have snapped. Maybe he could have got help. Well, I don't know that. I'm trying to stay positive. So, and then the whole Kurt Angle goes for the ankle lock, and his boot comes off because it was untied. Man, or beating Brock Lesnar. I know we had interference with Goldberg and a DDT onto a steel chair, but the underdog winning like that, one of the greatest. Yeah, man, that place erupted, and he just looked so good with that championship. Like, it looked like it fit him, and I'm gonna get the Eddie Guerrero championship from WWE shop, and I'm gonna wear it everywhere. It looks like an Eddie Guerrero championship. So with that being said, this is my top 8 feel good moments. Let me know what you guys is, and till next time, much love. JD out.